Hi, I'm Austin Leonard, VP General Manager of the Dollar General Media Network, and you're listening to the CPG Guys podcast.
Hello and welcome to the CPG Guys podcast, set at the intersection of commerce and tech. Your hosts, Sri Rajagopalan and Peter V. Espon, explore how brands and retailers engage consumers in a digitally driven world. And now, here are the CPG Guys.
Hello and welcome to the CPG Guys podcast. I'm, of course, Sri, your co-host and also CRO and co-founder at Think Blue Consulting, your trusted partner in your omni-channel development journey. Get in touch with me at sri@thinkblueconsulting.co. Please do listen to my older daughter's music at www.riaraj.com. And now announcing Ria's first national tour begins December the 1st, 5 cities. Also follow Laura Raj, my younger daughter, is a member of the world's fastest growing global girls group. Cat's Eye, winner of an MTV VMA. Excited to be here and recording live from Grocery Shop. And joining me today, of course, is my co-host, co-founder, best friend, who also moonlights as head of industry and client engagement at Flywheel, the commerce acceleration division of Omnicom. Peter, how's Grocery Shop been so far?
Well, it's been great. Why didn't you tell me your daughters were musicians? How have I missed this?
Because you live under a rock.
That is kind of true.
Sometimes you got to lift the rock.
But I did get out of the rock, and I have been walking around Grocery Shop, and what have
you found?
A lot of talk about groceries, obviously. No, the interesting thing for me is we obviously had our kickoff.
Was it talk about shop?
We had our kickoff party Sunday night. We had a couple hundred people come to that. That was a lot of fun, and
which our guests today did not.
Oh no.
I don't know what happened.
They were too busy.
Too busy.
We were a little.
We're not important enough.
Maybe they just flew in a little bit later. That's probably
Sorry,
what
guys.
happened.
Maximizing every hour. Wanted to be there. I wanted
there
to be
we
there.
go. That's okay. We're okay with that.
We get snubbed all the time. Not a big deal.
But no,
we don't take it
half my
personally.
team. Don't worry. We
that's
have
got DG Media Network was
they did.
in
and they
full,
made sure to come by and say hello.
They were in full. They were fully represented. But no, I'm having a great time, Sri. The conversations going on, what we've had, the recordings we're doing, the suite, the dinners we've been hosting. It has been an absolutely incredible event, and we're literally only halfway through day 2.
Yep. I do want to acknowledge the moment and also congratulate Sean on his new role at Dollar General Media Network. Wish him all the best as he and our guest today build the future of what this looks like. So thank you, Peter. Always a pleasure doing this live with you. I'm glad we're actually doing this live from Grocery Shop to our audience. Make sure you're subscribing to our podcast on your preferred listening platform. Over 45 of those, where you can, of course, get our latest episodes, go back to consume some of the 525 plus episodes we've already published. Sometimes when I read out that number, it's just a
540.
Number.
540. That's a lot.
And it just feels like a number on a page, but that's insane, man. 540.
So how much, if you multiply that by the number of hours it took to record and edit and everything,
good heavens.
You spend a lot of time with me, don't you?
Reminders.
Okay.
The week reminders. Today's episode, of course.
Like a nice married couple here. I love it.
We stay together for the kids.
Now you're going to make him talk about the Muppet thing, which I cannot relate to.
Oh, hard pass.
Do you know the Muppets, the guys that were up in the balconies,
yes.
Waldorf and Statler?
Mm-hmm.
That's us, right?
No, I've seen you.
You've seen us bicker.
Both at the show and also on the podcast.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Just because he's accepted his age, I don't have to. I don't have to be graceful about it. Today's episode, of course, is with Dollar General Media Network and a repeat guest on the CPG Guys. For those following us, we recently had Heather Land from Dollar General on earlier this year as he spoke to merchandising at Dollar General. Of course, if you want to search for an episode, all you got to do is type either Dollar General space CPG Guys, Heather Land space CPG Guys.
It's one of our most downloaded episodes of the year.
Yeah. It was the conversation was very enriching, and she really, really added a lot of value. I hope those of you that haven't heard it, just follow that simple Google search.
We'll put a hyperlink in the show notes of this episode.
Yeah. Today is, I would say, slightly different because we want to dive into the media world and audience building world and everything on the favorite topic here on the CPG Guys, which is retail media, or aka commerce media. Join us in welcoming to the podcast Austin Leonard, VP and GM of Dollar General Media Network. 20 plus years of advertising experience, Austin has an extensive background in traditional, digital, and retail media to the point where I want to talk to him today about in-store media only and in-store shopper marketing only, but just kidding, guys. After starting in radio in Atlanta, Austin made the jump to digital in 2008 with eBay. In his time there, Austin led several teams for eBay Enterprise, helped bring eBay's first-party audience targeting programmatic platform to market. Since then, Austin has held sales leadership positions at both Walmart Connect and Sam's Member Access platform, where he helped grow the media business significantly. Most recently, he was at Epsilon and a close friend of the CPG Guys. Austin Leonard. Welcome to the CPG Guys. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, guys. Super excited to be back.
What is this? How many times have you now appeared on the podcast?
I think it's 3.
3,
but it might only be 2.
And you know about the 5-timer varsity jacket.
Oh, yes. I know about the jacket.
You've counted the tick marks.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Simple left turn. Take a look to your left on the chair back behind you.
It's a real jacket.
You know, I hear about it in so many episodes, but you don't always get to see it other than on one of you guys. So it's just right there.
Maybe you'll let him slip it on for a little try.
This is when you tell him who actually has it. Only 4 or 5 people have earned that distinguished.
AJ Sharma from Bear has it. Risa Crandall, who's now at Smart Commerce, has it. Liz Buchanan.
From Nielsen IQ.
And just a handful of people.
Yeah, and then of course the 2 of you have them. So
yes,
yeah.
And we've been on 540. What's the 540th timer jacket? Is that we got like rhinestones or
Let's
something?
make one for 550.
550 will do it. Okay.
Challenge us to make swag.
I love it. Regardless of what time it is, guys, I'm excited to be back. Not just on my favorite podcast, but also back on the retailer side where I'm closer to the customer, the merchants, and the brands. It's only been 4 months now, but I feel like I've been welcomed into a fantastic company that the many in our industry don't know much about. So excited to share more about that today.
Terrific.
You also have fantastic company today, by the way. Lucky you. Both in your day job and your podcast, you have fantastic company. But Austin, in all events, seriously, we're excited to have you back on the pod in this new role, one that will be groundbreaking for the industry. Of course, in the digital show notes of this episode, we'll include links to your LinkedIn profile and that at Dollar General Media Network. So if you're ready, Austin, let's get to it, man.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Right.
So I think first question is an obvious one. As you've just come in, Sean has come in with you. The industry is curious. Our audience is curious. Give us a solid overview of who is Dollar General. Heatherland did that, but for those that haven't heard that episode, let's repeat it. Who is Dollar General Media Network? Who's the Dollar General customer, the DGMN audience proposition? Let's get going.
Dollar General operates over 20,000 stores across 48 states. That's over almost 21,000 points of distribution. And we serve 90 million plus unique customer profiles. We've surpassed $40 billion in sales in 2024 across the 2 billion plus transactions that we see annually. So it's a massive retail business that many, again, in our industry don't know much about. We're often labeled as rural, but our footprint includes suburban and urban areas, and 75% of Americans live within 5 miles of a DG store. Heatherland did an awesome job of talking about our structure and our audience and our stores and how we think about it. So there's a ton of great insights from her episode. We'll plug it one more time at least. And I've used that as a lot as I've been ramping up. With this national footprint, the Media Network, it's called the Media Network a lot, and we'll shorten it to DGMN a lot. It's built to serve a differentiated audience that is often overlooked by traditional digital platforms. So typically, digital platforms focus their media delivery on high volume efficiency plays, which will naturally skew to more densely populated markets. Our first party data addresses the gap in less populated markets and allows brands to tap into our unduplicated, extensive, and growing reach.
Okay. Austin, welcome again to the podcast. We're glad to have you back, and we'll start sizing you up for the jacket. You're feeling you're going to hit the mark in short order, but
don't tease me.
Okay, we do like to do that. We have a friend of ours has been on 4 times, and he hasn't been on a year and a half. He thinks he thinks we have him in a holding pattern.
You've been ducking him. Yeah, no, I know.
We have been, but we like creating that. You've got it, but not just quite. Anyhow. So it's very clear from your description of what Dollar General is. You have a very strong physical presence. 20,000 stores, 48 states. No question about that. Let's look at the digital side because you started to reference that in DGMN. How is the footprint growing? Who are DG's partners on the digital side, and how is DGMN fitting into this equation of really emphasizing that there is a digital component to a true omni-channel experience for DG shoppers?
Peter, Sri, this is one of the areas that got me most excited to join the Dollar General team. Dollar General has strategically invested in our stores. So, for example, right now we have a current remodeling effort that's targeting about 80% of our stores. This initiative aims to drive 3 to 5% in same-store sales lift. We're also continuing to open new stores. So we've got about 575 planned for this year. This serves as an amazing foundation to provide additional convenient on-demand delivery across the communities that we serve. So let me tell you a bit more about the ecosystem that we've been building. So we started with DoorDash in 2021. It now covers more than 16,000 Dollar General stores. We've seen great incrementality with this partnership, a lot of new customers, and it's really helped introduce Dollar General to a lot of folks that hadn't been to our stores in a long time. And we, at the same time, we also rolled out our own first-party delivery called DG Delivery. Heather shared a little bit about this when she was on a few months ago. So this allows DG shoppers to purchase the same low-price, high-quality goods while using the digital coupons and cashback offers that they're used to using in our stores.
Okay.
When her first episode aired, we were at 3,000 stores and we were trending to about 10,000 by the end of the year. Well, as of August, we're actually at over 6,000 locations already, and we've upped our forecast for this year to be 16,000 stores by the end of the year.
So, and let me double down on that, because it's very important that not only are the prices comparable to the store, but the offers to reduce those prices through coupons and what have you, those are also available, because, correct me if I'm wrong, the profile of the DG shopper is very value conscious. And so adding on an element of last mile delivery that can have some cost implications to it, further heightening any type of cost increase might have a debilitating effect on the consumer's willingness to leverage that omni-channel mechanism for delivery. So it's very important that the consumers can still derive the same kind of value they can from shopping in a store.
Absolutely. And I think that the value part's really important, because obviously each shopper might have value in a different way. And when our shopper, when she thinks about her purchase and obviously some of the trade-offs, does she want to get her 4 kids into the car and drive to a store?
They need something for dinner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's worth it not having to unload the kids 100%. To go in and get one item off the shelf and then buckle them all back in.
Yes, but also importantly, like if there's a way to offset the cost of the delivery through some of the digital offers and actually make that value exchange, that's where our first party DG delivery really shines to help give our customers that value. And candidly, I think, and this is what gets me so excited about it, is these communities have typically been underserved by the e-commerce wave. And the challenge that we found...
You're oftentimes the only source of staple products for a community. And when you say they're underserved, you mean they're not served at all in other cases.
Yeah, our core customers, and especially the ones that are in the rural communities, that they're not served by anyone from a grocery delivery standpoint in many times. So this is an opportunity, and I'm going to trademark this. So I like to call it winning the last mile of e-commerce for the last mile of America. And that's an important part, because...
Can you put that on a t-shirt, Sheree?
Wait, I want to get that again. What is it?
We're recording
winning...
This.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's winning the last mile.
I just want to beat him to the trademark first.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's good. It'll be published that I said it first, so it's helpful. But there was so much talk.
We can edit this podcast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but anyway.
They're on our
all right,
side.
Jokes apart, let's hear it again, because I think
that's a very
important message.
The early 2020s was all about winning the last mile, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of focus on those bigger markets.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that with what we're doing with Dollar General and the digital ecosystem we're building, is that we can help you win the last mile of e-commerce for the last mile of America.
I love that.
And these shoppers should have the opportunity to take advantage of the same time-saving options that same-day delivery offers of any other American.
Brilliant.
And we're helping our brands really tap into our platform so they can ensure that their products make it into these digital shoppers' homes.
Thank you for that, Austin. Also, the numbers you kind of talked to, they're awesome. I mean, given where we are in the industry at this stage, the 500-plus new store openings is going to, and given... You talked about the last mile of service. It's a big deal that, there are so many stores, like I think you mentioned every household is within a 5-mile radius. Adding 500 more stores will only help towards that cause, to be able to get staples into places where many cannot easily find it in a 5-mile radius. So Grocery Shop, we're all here. What brought you here in the first place? What were you
I'm assuming an
accomplish?
Airplane, but...
What's that?
I'm assuming an airplane.
How do you know he didn't drive?
He might have.
Yeah, it's quite
It's
possible.
a heck of a drive, yeah.
But I said I'm assuming.
Sailboat, maybe, across the Panama Canal?
Yeah, so you guys know I love...
Don't we love to throw these curveballs?
I'm not done with the question yet.
We just love throwing curveballs. We're all friends. We love having some fun while we're doing this, right?
Okay, I couldn't do it on a real diamond, but the curveballs in the podcast world, keep coming,
All right.
Can I give you a knuckleballer Tim Wakefield classic?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Okay.
He was a Yankee killer until Aaron Boone hit him out of the park.
The one thing we can all agree on is the Phillies are not going to the World Series this year, can't we? Okay, good.
Is that mathematically done at this stage?
I think they're eliminated. I think they're already booking golf reservations in Florida.
That would be the Braves. The Phillies actually already clinched the NL East.
No, but I mean, they're already booked golf reservations for next week because I think they're anticipating.
Got it.
All right, man.
We're poking the bear. We're poking the bear.
I love it.
Grocery shop. What were you hoping to accomplish?
Yep.
And what would be some takeaways you've already had?
So this is a really great forum to get to meet with our brand, tech, and agency partners. So I love when the community gets together and we've got an opportunity to really efficiently spend some time together. So as DGMN evolves into our next phase of growth, on top of the digital acceleration that I just talked about, I'm making it a priority to really spend time to listen to how DG can help our advertisers.
Okay.
Making sure that I'm understanding what's top of mind for them, what are their big bets, getting feedback on the platform and where they're seeing some growth opportunities. The way that I see it is that for any brand that's building a national sales or media strategy, Dollar General is a critical part to helping ensure that they reach all of America. For any brand building a national sales or media strategy, Dollar General is a critical part to helping ensure they reach all of America.
You offer 20,000. Let's not undersell that. 20,000 points of distribution is massive scale, and that's what brands crave.
Yes,
they crave scale because to do retail media on a retailer that has 30 stores takes just as much time as it does to do retail media on a retailer that has 20,000 stores. Which juice do you want to squeeze? I'm going to go with scale every time if I'm a brand.
Yeah. A mentor of mine always used to say you want to focus on the graphs that are up and to the right.
Yes.
So you want to continue to really push on that. Part of what I'm doing is I'm sharing a lot of how the Dollar General and the DGMN platforms are growing.
Sure.
So we talked a lot about the growth in both digital and stores, and that's an important part that they see that growth because we're a retailer that is obviously a growth vehicle for them. The other part is that I want them to see us as a collaborative partner. We're focused on helping them accomplish their marketing and sales goals, and we want to build long-term growth plans with them that help them achieve those.
Okay, that makes sense.
Awesome, Austin. So, go ahead.
So I want to talk to you about kind of how the sausage is made on the inside, particularly the organizational structure, because that actually has a relevance on how decisions are made and how collaboration occurs within the walls. There is the merchandising group. There is the marketing group. Like, where does DGMN sit, and how do you formally interact with interactive marketing, with merchandising, to make sure that at a minimum, the messages aren't crossed and that everybody's singing from the same hymnal when it comes to collaborating with suppliers that are coming to you to reach your shoppers?
I think they sit on ergonomic chairs with tables in front of them.
Okay, now I think we were getting a little too far.
Okay.
But go ahead, Austin.
So this was another area that got me really excited as I learned more about how DG operates. We report directly into Tony Rogers, Dollar General's CMO.
Okay.
And he reports directly into Emily Taylor, our EVP, Chief Merchandising Officer.
Okay.
So that makes us part of the marketing team, and the marketing team is part of the merchandising org overall.
Okay.
Which really fosters greater collaboration and helps with communication across all the teams. And with this structure, we really have the ability to help brands natively integrate into Dollar General's enterprise marketing efforts, and then harmonize their DGMN retail media campaigns within the overall marketing ecosystem that touches DG customers every day. So you want to double click on that?
Yeah, and good to hear that you're actually reporting into the merchandising leadership.
Yeah. And I feel that most retailers would love to have their marketing and retail media teams operating as one team. And obviously, we're support teams to help the overall business and to help the merchandising org.
And that's also a critical component. Your goal is to help Dollar General sell more products.
Absolutely.
In their store. It's not you're here to fit some financial margin profile. It is to actually be accretive to the overall business.
Drive value to the consumer.
Yeah.
Which
is equated in driving value.
Our job and really our vision is we want to be the most innovative, collaborative, and consumer-centric retail media network so we can bring the most value to DG shoppers and advertisers. So that's a core part.
Okay.
That's a key thing.
So there are two constituencies.
Absolutely. Like we support our overall business and we want to sell more goods at Dollar General. But if our advertisers aren't happy and if it's not penciling out from an ROI standpoint, then this isn't a business that will deliver on.
It's not sustainable. They won't continue to invest in the platform. No
Absolutely.
question.
Yeah. So I think the other thing that is really exciting about how the org is structured is that most retailers would love to have these teams operating as one team. They'd love to have marketing and retail media organized together. We sit on the same tech platform, so we have the ability to do things a little bit differently. We're already leveraging this as a better way to deliver more relevant messages for our consumers and also better customer experiences. So, for example, when it comes time to deliver for summer, back to school, or even cold, cough, flu season, we built a new framework that makes it easy for brands to take part in these key moments. And these are the moments that matter most for DG shoppers. So if they're integrated into the customer experience and they're aligned with how DG is going to market, it's going to deliver better results.
Sri, I think back to the last time I worked at a certain Rhode Island-based retailer, and they would do annual business plans or joint business planning with suppliers. The digital component came in at the last minute as the plan was going up the chain to the chief merchant, and a phone call would go from the merchant to the digital team and say, can you send me your 3 pages that I can just tack on to the end of the deck? What I'm hearing is that's not how it works. You are not an afterthought. You're not a tack on. You are part of, because you're integrated into marketing, and marketing is part of merchandising. You are part of the holistic process.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, I'm going to repeat, the fact that y'all are part of the merchandising team makes it very unique because that ecosystem doesn't exist at most other retailers, causing useless conflict. Another comment I made and wanted to make after the previous question I had asked you about being at grocery shop, and you had referred to reach and distribution. CPG world, externally, the number one most important metric is category share, because that's what's reported to Wall Street, measures on them. But internally, the number one metric is not category share. As in sales, reach and distribution is the number one metric. What would happen when a brand lost its distribution? It would be the greatest disappointment for sales leadership. Share can always be made up quickly with offers and driving value. You lose distribution, you got to wait for a reset. You're gone for 6 months. But we never say that publicly. So when you say reach and distribution, I think it's important for brands to know and acknowledge 500 plus stores, 20,000 distribution points. It's a moment that brands can truly leverage. So a reminder to audience, I'm speaking with Austin Leonard, VP General Manager at Dollar General Media Network. So let's talk about best-in-class partnerships. As you build this out, I'm sure in the upcoming year, we're going to see more announcements from you guys and what the future holds for DGMN. But what does a best-in-class partnership today with DGMN look like? What advice would you have for brand advertisers looking to improve their relationship with DG customers at the end of the day?
Unlike most retail media networks, DGMN started as an offsite first offering, and managed service was our primary.
That was realistic, right?
100%.
Because your most started as an owned and operated product search because they had very vibrant e-commerce businesses, like lower funnel kind of activity. That's not how you started, and so you focused on where you could add value to the equation.
Exactly, yeah. Our digital ecosystem has been building, and we have a national footprint across markets where sometimes it's really hard to reach our customers.
Yeah.
And that was the first natural thing that is the exact right place to start. If I was in their shoes, I would have started the same place.
You played
as well.
your strengths. You had strengths in terms of an audience,
a
very unique audience, and you could best apply that unique audience towards the upper end of the funnel and the capabilities around awareness and discovery.
Exactly right. And most advertisers will tell you that for driving in-store sales, as long as it's done well, the most effective channel is offsite advertising because it's efficient. You can reach the specific markets you want to reach. You can be very targeted about who you reach. So starting there was a very natural place to start. And there was also a couple things we'll talk about in store that have been in the ecosystem for a while around signage and shelf placements. But the big part of it is we really needed to grow a lot of the digital engagement, which they've been doing really well for the past couple of years. And this year we've really invested in growing our on-site inventory. both in the tactics that we're offering and also how they're woven into the customer shopping journeys. We're bringing a more sophisticated approach to how we plan and how we help advertisers reach our customers. And we're having great conversations with our brand partners about how we partner differently heading into 2026. And I think that's an important part. We really want them to think of us as that growth partner. And so when we're thinking about, best in class partnership, and I'm asking what they're looking for, one of my biggest priorities that I saw very clearly and heard very clearly from a lot of our customers was that we need to meet brands how they want to buy media. So we've got great self-service tools for offsite already. We need to help scale those up. We also need to ramp up some tools that will tap into the new and growing inventory that we have in our app and in our website. And that will really help from an on-site display standpoint to create more self-service tools. And then finally, it just needs to be easier for them to buy according to their existing workflows and processes as much as possible.
The less you have to train them on new workflows,
Yes.
the more likely they are to adopt your mechanism because they already know how to do it to a large degree.
100%, yes. And the easier you make it, the more friction that you take out of the process, the easier it is for them to accomplish their goals in alignment with our goals as well.
So we talked about when Sri and I talked to brands about the decision that they make on which platforms to invest in. The two things that always come up, I already touched on one of them, which is scale. I need scale. The other one is around measurement, right? We talk about this constantly on the CPG Guys. They're looking for transparency. They want to understand how the sausage is made because that allows them to compare their investments across the different platforms that they're looking at, right? So can you share particularly around from DGMN, the metrics and ROI reporting that brands and advertisers can expect to receive when they work with DGMN, and that level of transparency they get to understand how you arrived at those calculations?
And we've got a great foundation here, Peter and Sherry. Our measurement was built according to IB standards. So we looked at the industry guidelines. And
so this is the industry association, IAB, which came up with some standards on how the retail industry should strive to adopt. So there's commonality and everyone can expect to get that level of certainty.
Yes, definition of clicks, attribution windows.
It's amazing that you have to actually define what a click is, but you do. Because there are people that define it differently.
There's also people who are defining new buyers differently. So just making sure that there's a common language should help make it easier for brands to easily understand our methodology. So it allows us to report ROAS, return on ad spend, clicks, and all the standard media metrics according to accepted industry standards. But it also builds confidence that when we report on incremental ROAS, which is what we know most brands are looking for, they need incremental sales.
That's the promise of performance marketing. It's getting the incrementality measure.
They need to know exactly how we're calculating those success metrics. So working with IAB and finding those has been really important. We do recognize that, again, why we've leaned in here is we do recognize that brands are dealing with ever-growing complexity, especially as retail media has grown so fast. And we know that the CFOs are very tuned into their retail media investments. It means we know we need to show that our efforts are driving incremental sales and new customers with every campaign and every dollar. It's obviously there's a lot of work to do overall, so we're investing to continue to get better here every day. But we're aligned with retail media market, and we believe we've got a great measurement and insights foundation.
Okay. One of the terms we hear a lot from brands, even here at Grocery Shop, as we've hosted a couple of dinners here, is new to brand. What do you feel about that metric?
I think it's an important one. I think they're looking to grow households and drive sales, and helping them see where they're growing their category share is an important one. So
national brands have lost a lot of brands have lost households since the beginning of the pandemic. So that is very top of mind to them.
So they should look at retailers that are growing households and find a way to partner more closely with them, right?
500 new stores.
500 new stores. That's
new reach, new audience.
That is big.
So I'm sure you've been thinking about in-store media. With that
20,000 points of distribution.
Yep, exactly. I want to get a full scoop from you, man. What can brands expect from DGMN, and how does it tie back to the merchandising? Or you report in already, so how does that work when merchandising is thought of?
So it's great that in-store media is such a hot topic at a time when I had the opportunity to go to a place that 21,000 stores. When you talked to Heather Land, she talked a lot about the important role that our stores play in our shoppers' lives and within their communities. So that's an important piece of how we think about how we're communicating with them, how we adding value to their shopping experiences. right now we've got great tools to reach shoppers in our stores and at the shelf with traditional shopper marketing tools like shelf talkers and in-store signage supported by our partners at Neptune and Vestcom. Mm-hmm. There are also connected shelf offerings that link the physical shelves to the digital incentives. So it makes it easier for our shoppers to be more digitally engaged and to really help them save even more money. So there's plenty of great signage opportunities and really a way to talk within the box. We've also invested in the equipment to deliver in-store audio ads, the in-store radio. That can really help brands tie some of their national messaging, especially some of the audio work that they've done, into our customer store visits, while also driving incremental sales by accelerating new products, communicating offers, and all doing that close to that purchase as our shoppers are making some decisions. Even with all the progress, in-store advertising is still in its early stages. And obviously with over 20,000 stores, we have a really unique opportunity to innovate at scale. And really what we're seeing is brands are very excited about that. They're leaning in to understand how we're going to grow that.
It's very important because we've had on the podcast in the past, our friend Andrew Lipsman from Media Ads Commerce. And he shared a really interesting stat. He was talking about this consumer audience called the unreachables. They are consumers that have cut the cord on traditional cable television, don't using antenna. Everything they do is streaming. So they're no longer reachable by mass mechanisms like linear television or print media. I can't even find newspaper to fuel my fireplace for the winter. That's how hard things are getting. Like I can't even find it anywhere. There's no, you used to get those flyers from the town newspaper with advertising. You can't even get those anymore. Now. It's all digital.
You got to throw your phone in there and get it started.
So unreachables are people that you can't reach those mechanisms, but they're still going into your store and shopping, aren't they? There is a huge opportunity for you to help brands reach your shoppers through their just walking the physical store and creating those kinds of inspirational awareness and discovery moments.
There really is, yeah. And that gets me really excited, both from how do we measure it differently? Because I think that's a big question. The brands will just say, great, how is it going to be different than what you have today? And how does it drive incremental sales? Yeah. But also with the scale that we can bring to the table and how do we make those shopping experiences better?
All right, let me close our questions with more looking to the future, right? What have you got in store for 2026? If you were to tell you can tease us, give us a little bit of future forward look. Would love to understand what you're trying to focus the innovation with DGMN on to further serve the needs of your advertisers and further delight the moments of experience for your shoppers.
Yeah, so DGMN is evolving into a strategic growth lever for Dollar General and for our brand partners. So we've got a clear mission to really spark change and accelerate opportunity in underserved markets. So that part is a really big part of what we're working on. How do we do that better for next year? I'll repeat it again. Our vision is to be the most innovative, collaborative, consumer-centric retail media network so we can bring the most value to DG shoppers and advertisers. And that's what we're going to continue to build for. We're really focused on things like automation, more self-service tools for our brands and advertisers.
And that's to give them choice and to give them choices, right?
Absolutely.
Some of them want it managed service, some of them want it self-service, some of them want third-party agency. You want to enable however they want to work with your platform.
Yeah, for the partners that are leaning into us, we want to make it as easy as possible for them to really take advantage of this unique audience and this unique ecosystem. And we're also working on enhanced performance measurement. How do we make sure that as they're leaning in, they continue to get the insights they need to help show the organization where things are growing? And then finally, we're really placing an emphasis on AI integration, in-store innovation, as we talked about, and serving the last mile of America digitally and physically.
Awesome. What a terrific conversation with, of course, a terrific leader. Let me now thank our audience for listening to this wonderful episode. Do leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your favorite listening platform is, because it informs us how we're doing as well as if we're having the right conversations with the right guests. To all of you listening in, sincere thank you from Peter and me. You make the show happen. To all our sponsors, whether this podcast or parties, events, hosted dinners, having us at panels, thank you, thank you, thank you. To our nearly 40,000 followers on LinkedIn, every single one of them organic, because Peter and Sri have never done paid marketing. I can't thank you enough for being ardent followers of the show. Peter, Fun doing this with you live.
Yeah.
What's your big takeaway today from what Austin had to share with us?
The big thing for me is DGMN is part of marketing, which in turn is part of merchandising. And their core mission is to deliver more meaningful experiences and delight their customers and help their advertisers speak to their shoppers in more meaningful ways. And that will ultimately grow Dollar General's business. This is not about a margin play or monetizing media for the sake of doing that. It is truly about the core focus of the business. It aligns with the mission.
Awesome. I'll tell you what mine is. Really learning that he took a plane to come here and he didn't take a ship past the Panama Canal.
Groundbreaking knowledge. Groundbreaking
jokes
knowledge.
apart, yeah. I think for me it's winning the last mile of e-com for the last mile of America by being an enabler, the only source of e-commerce for consumer staples to many 500 new stores, and the closeout that said consumer-centric media network.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Always fun doing this with you.
Always.
Austin Leonard, thank you for coming back on the CPG Guys.
Guys, thanks so much for having me. It's so much fun as always, and really appreciate you having me on.
That's a wrap of this episode of Who Is It, Peter?
The CPG Guys podcast. Goodbye.
The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from CPG Guys LLC or the individual author, hosts, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by CPG Guys LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The views expressed by CPG Guys LLC do not represent the views of their employers or the entity they represent. CPG Guys LLC expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we present in this podcast.